Securities and Exchange Commission announced on Friday that it has charged T.I., known as Clifford Harris, T.I., Tip, for his role in a fraudulent cryptocurrency scheme. The SEC implicated 5 Atlanta area people, including Mr. Harris, for promoting something called Flick, F-L-I-K, and CoinSpark, 2 unregistered and fraudulent initial coin offerings, led by film producer Ryan Felton in the summer of 2017. In the complaint against Harris, the SEC claims that T.I. offered and sold Flick tokens on his social media accounts, falsely claiming to be a Flick co-owner and encouraging his followers to invest in the Flick ICO, which is an initial coin offering. T.I. also asked a social media manager, William Sparks. He was also charged by the SEC. He was also charged. And by posting those Flick on his social media accounts, Harris substantially amplified the reach of Flick's marketing campaign. However, with the money raised from the phony cryptocurrency company, Felton, the producer, used the funds he misappropriated and the proceeds of his manipulated trading to buy a Ferrari, a $1 million home, diamond jewelry, and other luxury goods. That's how they get y'all, by the way. You go out, just like the PPP money. You go out and buy dumb stuff, and then somebody goes, $1 million house and a Ferrari? That doesn't sound. Let's follow the money here. Oops, wait a minute. This is fraud. That's what happened. Now, we have so much distrust in our community to start with. And we have a history of charlatans, from Father Divine, Reverend Ike, and all of them, taking people's money and not really putting back into the community. And some could argue some of our organizations have been doing the same over the years. And it's disheartening. Tell us, first of all, what this is. What is fraudulent cryptocurrency, and is this very prevalent?
Yes, unfortunately, Karen, this is something that's been happening quite a bit, and especially when the run-up of cryptocurrencies gets higher, you'll see a proliferation of, again, scams. Can use anything. It can use dollars. It can use the internet. It can use anything. And in this case, early on, after Bitcoin started, Satoshi's a black woman, of course. Satoshi started us with Bitcoin. And then from there, you have what they call altcoins. These were coins that were, in some ways, variations a little different than Bitcoin, but they also were still able to be used as digital, transferable on internet data. Well, in probably like 2016, 17, they came out with another way of classifying these cryptocurrencies, not as altcoins, but what they called them was ICOs. Now, this is a problem because the name itself kind of asked the SEC to come and get involved. Now, they probably could have called these new tokens or new coins. They could have called them new tokens or new, like something that had nothing to do with securities, so that no one would suggest it was securities. But they literally called this classification of technology ICO, which stood for initial coin offering, which was a play on the word of initial public offering. And of course, initial public offerings in stocks is regulated by the SEC. Giving the name ICO is almost begging the alphabet boys to come and get engaged because it sounds very similar. And what happened, people were using basically a 2-sheet pitch deck saying, hey, I got this new idea for our cryptocurrency that's going to be better than Bitcoin, better than gold. And if you give me some money initially, I'll give you some of these tokens. And what they end up calling these tokens was security tokens. So you get these. I'm going to give you 1,000 of Karen coin, and for that 1,000 Karen coin, you give me, $1,000. And one day these Karen coins are going to be worth actually more because we're going to have people using them and things that they're going to be, and they speculate. So people were looking for the next big token. So you have Litecoin, you got Ethereum, you got XRP from Ripple, you got all these tokens. So people started creating these tokens. But there's this thing called the Howey test, where you can say, is this technology or is this an investment? And there's some rules around that can determine if this really is this a token that you're just holding on to, or is this an investment? that you're really masquerading as technology. And, there's some rules with the Howey test, and I actually pulled them up. And one of the rules is it a monetary investment? Do you expect a profit? Is it investing in a common enterprise, a centralized enterprise, and the profits being made not by yourself but by a third party? Well, monetary investment, yes. These people were investing. Did they expect the profit? Yes. Was it a centralized, entity in charge? Yes. And the people who gave the money, were they doing any work? Like, were they doing anything? No. They were speculating. And so what happens, and it's not like there aren't large entities doing this. What I've seen, though, is the people they go after seem to be, disproportionately people of color. I say black, but black folks. And then they also have gone after, like, people who have big notoriety names. So does T.I. know all the details about this? I'm not sure. I'm not going to question that. But I will say that in this industry, there's been many projects like this, Carcoin, Buttercoin. There's so many things that have gone on. When I hear about somebody being flagged by the SEC and fined and penalized, how did they determine who to go after?
Mm-hmm.
But what I try to tell people is don't do anything that sounds like it. Even as a company, we were approached possibly using these means to, and again, when you're, a developer or you're a startup, especially a black startup trying to get traction and support, it's very difficult. We don't have those private pockets. So these are things that people will introduce. Hey, we got this great thing. We'll call it Heritage Coin. And we'll get all the black folks and they'll just, because of their heritage. Like, I had folks come to me, I love black people coin. And I was like, we're cool on that. Like, at the end of the day, if they're going to get somebody, they're going to get somebody that look like me, and I don't need gray.
Right.
I'm black or white.
Right. And what's crazy, I don't think T.I. knew what he was getting himself into. But old boy that went and bought the Ferrari and the $1 million home and the jewelry and other luxury goods, at some point, again, taking people's money and not giving them anything in return. In our community, which already has so many layers of built-in distrust, is criminal on some other level. To take somebody's money and then go buy $1 million home and a Ferrari with the money that you've taken, instead of actually, I think there could have been a great idea here to develop, because we need a form of exchange. I just started doing the solo funds, lending money, because to me that makes sense from a standpoint that people need money. If you have it, you get money, return on your investment. If you don't, they cover you. If you put insurance on there, that seems to make sense to me, right? And that's internal and that's community building. And the more we, build that trust, okay, I'm lending you money, you're paying me back, rinse and repeat. That's great. We need our own currency. I think globally, Black folk need to be able to buy and sell globally. But every time there's a little distrust, while folks are piling money into cryptocurrency, I remember the whole Bitcoin craze. People were getting in at the very top, and then the bottom dropped out, and they were mad because they lost money. It's disheartening. So tell me, Sinclair, is there a valid space that folk can put their money into in this crypto world that could be a good investment?
I think some of this, a lot of this is just, if somebody couldn't sell you this thing on the street, don't let them sell it to you online or social media. If somebody couldn't come up to you in the street and it didn't make sense, don't let somebody in your DM sell it to you. So I think some of this, we have larceny in our hearts. We want something for nothing. Some of these susus, some of these. At the end of the day, I've been bankrupt and I've made a good amount of money, but it's always required a lot of hard work. That's going bankrupt took a lot of hard work, and actually to make some money took a lot of hard work. I don't think there's a way around that, and I think there are established exchanges where you can take your dollars in exchange of just taking fiat currency, and you're able to exchange it for crypto. There are, established exchanges that allow you to do that are reputable, and the tokens or the cryptocurrency they have on them, they're, by and large, have vetted those tokens before even placing them on there. And some of those are like uphold.com. We just had, we interviewed for the Black Blockchain Summit. We had Cameron Winklevoss, and the Winklevoss twins, known from Social Network, they have an exchange called Gemini. They're twins. Gemini.com. Binance is another exchange, and it's known because it's crypto to crypto, and not necessarily you don't need dollars. So there are some reputable exchanges.
Is Coinbase reputable?
Yeah, Coinbase. So Coinbase, I should have said. So Coinbase, one of the first places that we met, actually a guy who had worked for me, went to school with Brian Armstrong, who went on to be the CEO. And I remember they just had a little small operation, looked like a little condo, and now they've done so well. And our full disclosure, Uphold is one of our partners of our company, BillMari, and we have a wallet product. But I think the biggest thing that we have to do is, first of all, there's no free lunch. If it sounds too good, it probably is. And there are reputable places, like I just said, Coinbase, Uphold, Gemini, Binance. I would say those four out loud and feel very comfortable with any consequence, that these are places where whatever's being traded on them has gone through a vetting process. And if something was to happen, these are companies that you can sue, hold accountable for something that happens to you. So in a real way, I think some of this is you got to be like aware and conscious. I've been hacked. There's a thing called SIM swapping, where even though our product for BillMari, you can't necessarily hack our product, but I had it on one of these exchanges, and the person stole my identity of my phone. Literally called AT&T and said they were me and changed the SIM while I was in Zimbabwe. And once somebody has your SIM card, whatever we talk about identity, your phone in many ways is who you are. When you pop up on somebody's phone, when you dial them, that is a powerful way. And AT&T still hasn't got a lot of loopholes out. But once they do that, they don't even need your password. They then just say, oh, I lost my password. And, of course, most people have what they call two-factor authentication, which means if you lose your password, it automatically sends
you a text
to your phone.
Right.
And then so your phone has now been compromised. So that person, you know how people come up with like these elaborate passwords. It don't matter. The hacker's not going to try to figure that out. They're just going to get access to you through another point of failure, and that's normally through the phone. And again, we've had to add layers and layers and layers of security. And a lot of this is not technical engineering. It could be social engineering. It could be somebody at a call center that's compromised. Give them a few $100s, and they do some favors for folks. Or someone comes on and says, oh, I've just had a horrible incident. Please help me. My phone is not working. There's all kinds of things that people have done to they call social engineer these hacks. So you have to be vigilant. And I just say that, we got to be accountable.
BitMari, BITMARI.com. BitMari, you guys had a conference this weekend. I jumped in a couple of times during it live. It was amazing. When you say you have a wallet product, what is a wallet product?
All right, so we updated our name to BillMari, BILLMARI. Now, so we do have BitMari still, the name, just in case somebody gets lost along the way. But I'm going to say this with full disclosure. We did it because so many people heard the word bit and they thought scam. And it's hard enough being a black person in business, and they already decide you somebody and you got to prove yourself. So we literally put 2 L's and took the T out and called it BillMari just so that we wouldn't catch that heat from the folks who, are you a scam? And then they would think we were selling a token called BitMari. No, we're a technology solution. We're not here to sell you anything. We hopefully are providing you something better than anything to be sold. With that being said, we had our conference, the 3rd annual conference, the Black Blockchain Summit. Thank you for letting us bring it up last week on your show. You've always been a supporter of it, and thank you for that. That being said, it's our opportunity to bring issues in our Black community with technologists and other thought leaders to figure out ways to solve old problems. Out of that, we came up with a pitch competition to address the issues of illegal gun violence in our community. And we're going to be leveraging technology like blockchain, artificial intelligence in order to predict and prevent people from being murdered in our communities with illegal guns, which, again, it sounds like it's very specific, but it's something where if somebody's using an illegal gun, we should be able to identify and be able to prevent some of that from happening. And conferences like Black Blockchain Summit, we want to make it more than just a convening of minds, which is great. We want to actually have something take place of results. So by the next conference, we will have developed a prototype behind the issue of illegal gun violence, leveraging the brains of the amazing people that participated in this year's conference with the support of our people participating.
I love that. And the conference will be available on YouTube this week, by the end of the week?
Yeah, so we're going to have it available. I actually reached out to my people to find out where it is. So by Thursday, they'll be able to go to blackblockchainsummit.com, blackblockchainsummit.com, and actually get the location. And also, it's already a YouTube channel. So it's on our Black Blockchain Summit YouTube channel.